What's up, everybody? This is Mav Bites. I'm your host, Oscar Vasquez. This is the show where we highlight people, projects, local business based out of Pearsall and surrounding areas. Today, we have our guest, Dr. Eduardo Sanchez. Very happy to have him. He is a member of the community of Pearsall, and he's here to talk to us about some of his projects and things that he's done. Very excited to have you here, sir.
Likewise, glad to be here.
Okay. So tell us about yourself. Who is Dr. Eduardo Sanchez?
So I'm originally from San Antonio. My parents were both from Mexico, but I was born and raised in San Antonio. After high school in San Antonio, I joined the military. So I spent 3 years active duty living overseas in Germany. After that, I went back to school, received a full scholarship for my bachelor's, master's, and PhD. So I went back to school as a nurse. So I'm a nurse practitioner. So I've been working for the past 25 years as a pediatric nurse practitioner in a practice there in San Antonio that I founded about 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So you're a doctor, you're a pediatrician, and how did it come to be that you chose to be a pediatrician?
Sure. I'm actually a nurse practitioner in pediatrics.
A nurse practitioner. Oh, okay.
I am.
Sorry.
No problem. So I received, my scholarship was as a emergency room nurse. So I did that for 4 years and soon realized I wanted to go back to school to become a nurse practitioner. During my schooling, same thing, you do rotations in all different specialties, and I just fell in love with pediatrics. We did women's health, we did geriatrics, we did family health, but pediatrics was where my heart was. I had worked with adults for many years in emergency medicine. It was a nice change and something I truly enjoyed. Again, helping the community, helping children.
Very cool. So as a nurse practitioner, you get to carry that title of doctor?
Correct.
Okay.
Those of us who receive a doctorate degree do get to carry the title of doctor. Not MD, but we do have a doctorate level degree. So.
I see. Okay. You also have a book published.
I do.
I thought it was pretty neat to mention it. And can you tell us the title of the book and how that came to be?
Thank you. It's called Ask Dr. Ed, and it's a book to help new and experienced parents throughout the first year. I was approached by a publisher regarding writing a book for my community, for my patients, but it's pretty universal for any parent wanting some help on raising a baby. So it was a fun endeavor. I finished it about 2 years ago, just to help new parents. We get a lot of questions when we're seeing new parent, again, whether they have other kids or not. There's always a lot of questions and sometimes hesitation. So wanted to ease some of their fears and concerns.
Very cool. And so do you live here in Pearsall?
I do. So we relocated here to Pearsall this past December. We had a home in San Antonio that we sold. All our families here. I'm engaged to Sylvia Valle, who's here from Pearsall, and we have a 2-year-old son. So I wanted him to grow up and be close to family. I have family in San Antonio as well, but we wanted to be here in Pearsall, where Sylvia's family was as well. So we came back here to Pearsall, bought a home here about a year ago, but made the move in December.
Okay, cool. You recently obtained real estate in downtown Pearsall. Can you share with us the history of the building and the thought process behind the purchase?
Sure. So we were, when we were thinking about moving back here about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we were looking for, I was looking for some investment property. It's something I've done. Besides my pediatric practice, I've been working on commercial real estate for about 20 years as well, 15, 20 years. And just happened to be driving by and saw that that building, the little hotel building, it looked like it had been condemned. There was yellow tape around it, and I thought, let me see what I can do with that. So I started looking into that building, found who the owners were. It was lender owned, and made an offer. About 6-8 months of negotiations, and we were able to acquire that building.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I would see it, and I don't know anything about it. What is that building? What has it been used for in the past? So
the history of that building, it was a hotel. So it had a 25-unit hotel upstairs, and the bottom was all retail. I believe it was a Firestone for many years. Thereafter, it had just been various things. There's haircutting place. There was a shaved ice place. A boutique was in there as well. And I think there's some other offices. So it has run its course as many retail businesses over the past few years. But the hotel had been closed for probably 20, 25 years. So that was unoccupied upstairs.
And what type of shape was the building in?
It was in pretty rough shape. That building.
I think by the time now that you got into it, it wasn't being used anymore, or was it?
The city had just condemned it, so all the tenants had just moved out, probably 4 months prior to that. So, but it was full end to end of just trash from from all of the different businesses, mattresses and things that just come into decay. So it took. I think we moved 20 dumpsters of material, of material out of there. From the. Wow. There's actually a basement that was full as well, so it just had a lot of trash in it. So
it's a basement and it's a 2-story building.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And you said about 25 units, hotel units, right? That's
correct. Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty big.
It's a pretty big building. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've opened it up to try to get as much space as we can and clean it up, and so looking forward to it.
Cool. So we can see the renovations are underway. What are some of the challenges in renovating this building, and how far along have you come?
Sure. I think we're about 60%, 70% done. The biggest challenge is, again, once we got it cleaned up, has been just figuring out where we're going to put, where we want tenants' entrance and exits. It had wall unit ACs, so closing up some of the holes and figuring out how we're going to put air conditioning back in, plumbing, electrical. It has bathrooms, it has water fixtures, which is we're fortunate. But just figuring out where everything is going to go, because we can have small spaces, we can have large spaces. So as we continue the development process and talking to potential tenants, we'll get to finalize where we're going to put everything. But that's been challenging because we don't know exactly what tenants we'll have in there yet. So once we figure that out, we'll be able to finalize where we'll put things.
Cool. There's a Facebook page titled The Little Hotel Building. Can community members follow the project there? Yes,
they can. Yeah, we haven't updated it recently, but we will get back on that page and start putting some updates. We had a lot of delays right when I acquired it. The pandemic hit, and getting materials was a huge challenge. Getting contractors was challenging as well. Laborers, folks to get down here and help us work on it has been challenging just because of the pandemic. Folks getting sick, or the businesses that we had hired to come doing it, not being able to get materials. So it's been pretty challenging. But we've got past, I think, the roughest part of that, and so we're ready to get back. Full bloom. It's back. I have another contractor working today as we speak. They've been hitting it pretty hard with this next phase, which is the exterior, the awning, the windows, etc.
Yeah, the pandemic kind of stalled a lot of projects everywhere. It did. But I have definitely noticed that there's been a lot of more movement. And you can kind of see little by little something changing every day.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So it's called The Little Hotel Building on Facebook, and I see a sign that says Paisano Motel or Hotel. I don't know.
Correct.
But what are y'all going to call it?
I think we're going to keep it The Little Hotel Building. The research that we did, that's actually what the original name was. I believe it was a family by last name of Little, and it was their hotel, so it was The Little Hotel. So we kind of gone back to what its original roots were, and just to keep that name, for history's sake.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that was the original name, was a hotel.
How do you think it will benefit the community of Pearsall and beyond?
I think by bringing the right mix of tenants in, looking for community-focused tenants. We're looking for civic-minded businesses. I mean, a business is a business, but we'd like to find folks that, offer things for the family, or, the owners are civic-minded and want to help us keep the area clean. But just bringing maybe types of businesses that increase foot traffic for the whole block, for the whole downtown. That's particularly what we're looking for is businesses that will help improve foot traffic to the area, because that will benefit every restaurant in town. It'll benefit the retail stores that are there. There's some boutiques down the street. So our goal is to, help that energy, that synergism by bringing in the right mix of tenants, trying to.
When I think about that building and the project you're working on, I think of the Magnolia in, what is it called? In Waco. Chip and Joanna Gaines, and how they renovated all kinds of things, and now they've got a whole market area, and it's pretty neat. That's what I think of whenever, for some reason.
We're going for the similar concept, probably a smaller scale, but similar concept. I mean, those folks, the Gaines, are very civic minded, very community focused, and that model works well, and it's great for the community. So
that's an awesome thing. It's refreshing, and it's exciting. I know that there's a lot of people that I know have asked, and who's doing this? What is it? What's it going to be? When is it going to be done? So when can the community expect the project to be finalized?
Sure. If we don't have any more delays, it looks like probably by October we should be able to have tenants ready to go. We had, for example, our latest delay, the windows. We needed 47 windows. I called my window supplier from other projects, and they were about 3 months out. So I drove to every Lowe's in San Antonio, and I bought them.
Found
some had 2, some had 6, so I was able to round them up. But barring any no delays, we should be open by October.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I actually saw one day no windows, the next day some windows. So yes. I've been paying attention. I travel that downtown all the time. I just go through. So
I think I hit 3 Lowe's that's all I could put together. But the contractor was there. Mr. Lopez was there putting them in as soon as I got them. So yeah.
Cool. So you explained how you made it to Pearsall, but you could have invested in any other city or town. Why Pearsall?
Pearsall is a great little town. My fiance, even as early as when we were dating, would tell me how awesome it was. She's really proud of this town and how community focused it was. And as I started coming down here and started meeting family and meeting people, I realized it really is. I have some projects going in Canyon Lake. I'm building 5 homes in Canyon Lake. Lakefront, love it. It's great. But those are buy and sell. This project here, it really means a lot. I mean, it's a legacy, not for us, but I'm hoping for Pearsall. I'm hoping that 50 years, 100 years from now, they'll look back and say, this is Pearsall. But it's just such a community, civic-minded place. Every town has its problems. Every community has its problems, but Pearsall is just a wonderful, lovely place. Again, I meet people that love the city and want to do more for it, and so I know we'll have a good backup and good help as we move forward. And I know people will support local businesses. So yes, it's a business endeavor, and I need to be successful. But I know with this community, just because we're the same. I mean, family is very important to me. San Antonio is my community for live and work and for my family, but this is now where I live. And even if we go back and forth, Pearsall will always have a place in my heart. My youngest son, was born here. We brought him home from the hospital here to Pearsall, and family came and friends came, and it was just amazing. And I really fell in love with it.
That's awesome. It's always great to hear how people are attracted to Pearsall, because everyone finds something. It's such a small town, but there's something for everyone. But there's also a lot of potential for growth, So this story was something I was really excited to hear from you, and very happy for Sylvia and you.
Thank you.
This is great, and wow, super excited.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So, in closing, as the community patiently waits for the project to be finished, what words or thoughts can you leave us with to look forward to the future?
It's a group effort. We're doing our part, financially, out there working as well. but it really is, it's an old saying. I hate using cliches, but it really does take a village. It takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to keep the village going. So I just hope everybody continues to be as thoughtful and caring. There's a lot of civic-minded folks in this town, from church leaders to business leaders, and I hope they continue to come out and support the community. Not only our businesses, but donating to the community, buying in the community. We try to buy every time we can. Every chance we get, we eat here, we shop here, we keep our dollars here, and that's what will keep it going. Mentoring, some local business folks, would love to see them mentoring, some of the high school kids. So things like that, that's what will keep this community vibrant and strong and growing. It does have a lot of strengths. There's a lot of industries here. They seem to be coming out more and more, from solar to agriculture to, the oil industry. But it has a diverse enough economy that it should do well from here and beyond. But we have to focus on the kids. Education. Right now, working on the buildings, some of the kids from the high school, they're helping. And so things like that, helping the community grow, helping the educational system, mentoring the high school kids. That's what will keep Pearsall growing, because they'll come back one day.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this show, and our hope for this show is to highlight people with ideas, but also, you keep mentioning that there's a lot of civic-minded people in this town. And that's our intent, to seek them out, to find them, to bring them on the show, to talk about, their thoughts, their ideas, to share some positivity about Pearsall and the community. So thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
We are looking forward to all of your projects.
Thank you, thanks.
And we wish you well, you and Sylvia. And hope to hear from you soon. Maybe we can bring you on again whenever everything's finalized. We can go in there and record something. And
Love to be back. Okay.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.